So the new season of the Haunted is finally upon us, and at level 1 of the season pass, you can obtain the Trespasser, a sidearm which is an absolute fan favourite from Destiny 1. And in my humble opinion, it's even better in Destiny 2. Today I'm going to be giving a quick rundown of this gun from more of a PvP perspective, but for you PvE folk out there, the stats and perks I'm going to explain about will make it obvious why this gun is so great in both PvP and PvE. This exotic sidearm, for those of you that don't know, fires a burst of 3 arc bullets with each trigger press, which hits for 32 on the head and 20 on the body. It falls in the 491 RPM sidearm archetype, so think of something like the Peace Bond. This gives it a ridiculous 2 burst potential against Guardians with less than 6 resilience, and a more believable 3 burst against those with 6 or more resilience. The 3 burst for those with 6 or more resilience has an optimal TTK of 0.73 seconds with 5 crits and 2 bodies. The 2 burst is a hardly believable 0.5 seconds, and surprisingly, a lot of Guardians in the Crucible run less than 6 resilience. So this was happening more than you'd expect it to. Its exotic perk, Unrepentant, gives the gun a super burst of 6 rounds after defeating a target and reloading. Now in D1 this Unrepentant buff didn't last long enough. It lasted for about 6 seconds, but in D2 this lasts for a whopping 10 seconds, meaning it's so much easier to chain super burst kills. The gun has a beefy amount of range thanks to full bore, but maintains a very high stability stat thanks to smooth grip and ricochet rounds. It's a bit of a stat monster, and controller players will be thankful for the high stability. Other things to note here is that the gun has ricochet rounds, as I just mentioned, so you can do some pretty nasty shenanigans and kill people around the corner. Now from my gameplay, the gun feels snappy, responsive and accurate. It's also lethal, especially on those mid to low resilience Guardians. The super burst doesn't feel gimmicky at all and actually provides an incredible damage perk on kills. The super burst can actually one burst Guardians, and it's such a satisfying experience to do that. Its other trait, Be the Danger, allows you to chain unrepentant super bursts, where one super burst kill actually automatically reloads your weapon and provides you with another super burst. Now before you think this is going to be quite overpowered in PvP, it's actually quite hard to chain this beyond 1 or 2 kills. You're eventually going to miss a crit, and that means you have to fire another burst, which means that doesn't proc, or people are going to be 6 or more resilience, which stops you from doing so. Where this perk really shines is in PvE, where you end up killing loads of ads without needing to reload. In terms of sidearms, this is right up there. As I said, it's lethal and within its range, very effective. The one area I found where it lacked slightly before getting a super burst was its range. I think the 2 sidearms that will really compete with this are going to be Drang, which is a completely different archetype, and it's also a massive outlier due to its zoom value, which allows it to outrange every sidearm, and also a max range Peace Bond, which will probably outrange this thing as well. However, like I said earlier, the high stability on this is going to feel great for controller players, and a max range Peace Bomb with Iron Reach, on a controller at least, isn't as stable. In terms of aerial play, Trespasser has innately great in-air accuracy. It receives a whopping 29 stat in airborne effectiveness, meaning even without heat rises, this gun feels great and it doesn't punish you for in-air play. Ricochet rounds kind of adds a bonus to in-air play, as sometimes you miss a Guardian by a small amount, but the bullets just ricochet in front of the Guardian and then hit them anyways. Now, the catalyst for this gun gives it tunnel vision on a super burst, which on its description on LightGG says it greatly increases target acquisition and aim down sight speed for a short duration. Honestly, I feel that this catalyst is going to be an absolute must for PvP, but the questline for it is a tad grindy, so I've yet to unlock it, but whenever Bungie uses words such as greatly in their perk descriptions, expect a palpable difference. Overall, the Trespasser is even better the second time around in Destiny. The super burst is no longer a gimmick, and lasts long enough for you to chain kills effectively. The gun feels sufficiently rangy without sacrificing too much stability. It has great inbuilt air accuracy, which for sidearms, especially exotic ones, a must. And finally, the super burst in combination with the catalyst essentially gives this kill clip with tunnel vision. It's a combination which truly feels exotic. If you enjoyed what I talked about today, remember to give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe to keep up with more upcoming content with the new season. I'm Mr. On It, and that's all for today. Peace out, guys.